Good day, everyone. Our lesson for today is all about the six trigonometric ratios: sine, cosine, tangent, secant, cosecant, and cotangent, with examples. But before that, don't forget to subscribe and share this video to your classmates and friends, and hit the notification bell for more updates. Also, you can find different subjects in this YouTube channel. Just select the playlist section. And finally, please do not skip the ads in this video. Thanks. And now let's proceed to our main topic for today, which is all about the six trigonometric ratios. By the AA similarity postulate, a right triangle with a given acute angle is similar to every other right triangle with that same acute angle measures. So, ibig sabihin, this triangle ABC is similar to triangle DEF, and it's also similar to triangle um, XYZ, no matter what is the size of the triangle. No? But from this word similar, ibig sabihin pare-pareho sila. Okay? This is the symbol for similar, which means that the ratio of BC over AC, BC over AC is equal to the ratio of EF over DF, and it's also equal to the ratio of YZ over XZ. Okay? So, ibig sabihin pare-pareho yung kanilang measurement. So, therefore, these are what we call the trigonometric ratios. A trigonometric ratio is a ratio of two sides of the right triangle. Okay? So, halimbawa, this is a ratio. This one is a ratio. So, ang trigonometric ratio ay ratio ng dalawang sides ng isang triangle. So, halimbawa, ito nga, BC over AC is a trigonometric ratio. Now, by definition, trigonometric ratio, the sine of an angle is the ratio of the length of the leg opposite the angle to the length of the hypotenuse. So, from that, parang sinasabi ng sine, okay, na ito yung ratio ng opposite leg over the hypotenuse of the triangle. Halimbawa, we have sine A. So, um, ito yung sine A. Sabi dito, opposite. So, ang opposite ng sine A or angle A is A. At ang kanyang hypotenuse, which is the longest side of the right triangle or of a triangle, is C. That's why sine A is equal to A over C. For sine B, if this is sine B, that's opposite. The opposite leg is B. And the hypotenuse is C. That's why sine B is equal to B over C. For the cosine of an angle is the ratio of the length of the leg adjacent to the angle to the length of the hypotenuse. So, cosine A, for instance, um, cosine A is adjacent. So, ano ba ang adjacent? Anong leg ang adjacent sa sine A? Ito yung letter B. 'Di ba? Adjacent or parang nasa side niya. And then the hypotenuse is C. So, therefore, we have B over C. For the cosine B, we have, yung side niya is A. Ito yan, A. And then yung hypotenuse niya is C. So, A over C. Okay, so that's cosine B and cosine A. And then, for the tangent of an angle is the ratio of the length of the leg or the two legs, no? Leg opposite to the angle to the length of the leg adjacent. That's why we have tangent A equals opposite leg over adjacent leg. So, halimbawa, tangent A, we have the opposite leg, which is A. Ito yung nasa harapan niya. And then the adjacent is B. That's why A over B. And tangent B, we have the opposite leg, which is, what do I call this? A. No, the opposite leg is B. And the adjacent is A. By the way, paano nakuha tong ABC na yan? So, the opposite of A should be the small a. The opposite of C should be the small c. And the opposite of B, angle B, is the small b for the side. Okay? So, para mas maintindihan natin siya, let's have this one. The trigonometric function can be summarized using the following mnemonic device. So, meron tayong tinatawag na SO, ka, TOA. So, SOH, CAH for ka, and TOA for TOA. So, we have, for SO, we have sine equals opposite over hypotenuse. That's why sine equals opposite over hypotenuse. For the ka, we have cosine equals adjacent over the hypotenuse, and for TOA, we have tangent equals T, tangent equals opposite over the adjacent. So, ito yung parang mnemonics na pwede mo magamit for you to memorize the trigonometric ratio. So, using that mnemonics, we can consider the right triangle with theta. This is a symbol of theta for the degree as one of its acute angles. So, the trigonometric ratios are defined as follows. So, ito daw yung maging basis natin for this particular slide. So, we have this theta as our angle, given angle. So, we have the hypotenuse, the opposite of the theta, and the adjacent of the theta. Now, nag-iiba ang adjacent, depende yan kung saan nakaturo yung theta. So, halimbawa, kung dito yan, so adjacent, ito, hindi siya opposite, no? So, ang basihan natin is si theta na nandito sa base ng ating triangle. So, for the sine theta, hindi siya sine A, okay? It should be theta kasi siya yung degree. Siya yung angle. So, we have sine angle theta equals, that's the opposite over hypotenuse. So, di ba? SOH. So, opposite over hypotenuse. And, the opposite of sine is cosecant. That's why cosecant, CSC theta, for the symbol of cosecant theta equals hypotenuse over opposite. So, kabaligtaran siya or opposite siya ng sine. For the cosine, adjacent over hypotenuse. So, adjacent over hypotenuse. And the opposite of cosecant is secant. For the secant theta, we have hypotenuse over adjacent. Then, tangent theta is equal to opposite over adjacent. And the opposite is cotangent for the word tangent and cotangent theta, which is adjacent over opposite. So, ito yung mga 6 trigonometric ratios na na makakatulong sa atin to solve the degree if we are looking for the degree of a given triangle. Okay? Now, calculator tip. On the calculator, the trigonometric functions are abbreviated as follow. Yung sign sa calculator, makikita mo siya as sin, sin. Cosine is cos, and tangent is tan. So, kung meron kang scientific calculator ngayon, paki-hold siya kasi later on we have some problems to solve at para alam mo rin kung ano yung pipindutin mo. Okay, writing math. In trigonometry, the letter of the vertex of the angle is often used to represent the measure of that angle. So, para halimbawa dun sa ating example, kung meron tayong triangle, yung yung side, no? Yung side lagi ang ginagamit na representative ng measurement or yung vertex, I mean, ang ginagamit na measurement or na name ng angle. So halimbawa, this one is an angle A. So therefore, we have sine of angle A can be written as sin, sa word yung sine, sin A, para ma-identify mo agad sa calculator kung ano yung pipindutin mo. So, kung cos yan, cos A. Parang ganun siya. Nang ibig sabihin niya ay sine of angle A. Yun ang ibig sabihin ng sin A or sine A. Now, example. Okay. Let's find first the following, no? Let's find the trigonometric ratio muna. So, we will not going to solve. We're just going to find the trigonometric ratios of the following. So, for one, write the trigonometric ratio of as a fraction and as a decimal rounded to the nearest hundredth. So, sine j. For sine j, if it is j, nasan si j? Ito na. So, this is j. Okay, since sines ang pinag-uusapan natin, that's S-O-H, h. Tama? So we have sine, and then the opposite of j is 60, and the hypotenuse is 61. That's the hypotenuse, the longest side. So 60 over 61 is the answer. So the sine of an angle is opposite leg over hypotenuse. Therefore, the answer is 60 over 61. So dito sabi, write as a ratio, as a fraction, and as a decimal rounded. So divided to 60 over 61 is equal to 0.98 nearest hundredth. Okay? Another. So we have this one. So we're looking for cosine j. So cosine j is CAH. CAH. Okay? So if it is cosine j, ito siya, that the A adjacent to j is 11 and the hypotenuse is 61. Therefore, we have, okay, adjacent leg over hypotenuse 11 over 61, or just simply divided 2, you will get 0.18, okay, to the nearest hundredth. Next is tangent k. So tangent k is TOA, right? TOA, opposite over adjacent, tama? That's opposite over adjacent. So the opposite of k is 11 and the adjacent is 60. Pwede ba maging adjacent si 61? Hindi. Kasi siya yung hypotenuse. So adjacent niya, 60. Pag adjacent, we're talking about the legs. Okay, the legs. Pati yung opposite, legs din yan. Okay, ang hypotenuse lang talaga. Yung opposite tsaka adjacent, pwede sila mag-iba. Depende doon sa position nung angle. So, halimbawa dito, ang adjacent niya 60, si K. Pero si J, ang adjacent niya 11. So, pwede mag-iba yan. Then, divided to, the answer is 0.18. Now, let's now calculate first the trigonometric ratio. So, use your calculator to find the trigonometric ratio, run to the nearest hundredth. Be sure your calculator is in degree mode. Dapat naka-degree mode dyan, not in radian mode kasi mag-iiba yung answer natin. So, degree dapat, make sure na naka-degree mode. Meron kang makikita na parang DEG sa taas ng yung calculator, which means naka-degree mode ang yung calculator. So, please click on your calculator, the sine 51 degrees. So, sine 52. So, we have, ayan, so pag tinype mo siya, sine, open parenthesis 52, close parenthesis, or pwede naman diretso, sine 52. So, you will get 0.7880107536. Round off your answer to nearest hundred, so that is 788, so 79. So, that is your answer for the sine 52 degrees. Cosine 19 degrees. Ano nakuha nyo? Paki-type nga. Okay, ang makukuha mo ay 0.94551855756. And in nearest hundred, that is 0.95. Another, tangent 65. Ano nakuha nyo? So, tignan natin kung pareho tayo. So, we have 2.1445064 6921. So, the answer is 2.14. So, hindi siya na-round off, no? Kasi less than 5 yung kanyang third decimal place. So, third niya is less than 5. So, hindi siya pwede. Okay, the hypotenuse is always the longest side of a right triangle. So, laging longest side ang hypotenuse. Okay, but the addition of the two legs is longer than the hypotenuse. Remember that. So, the denominator of a sine or cosine ratio is always greater than the numerator. So therefore, the sine cosine of an acute angle are always positive number, less than 1. Since the tangent of an acute angle is the ratio of the length of the legs or the two legs, it can have any value greater than 0. Okay, now let's have this example. Find the length, round to the nearest hundredth. So we're looking for the length, okay? Given that we have 10.2 feet for AC, and given that we have degree of 15 degrees here, for angle B, we're looking for the BC. So, hinahanap natin ano ang length ng BC. So, we will use trigonometric ratio here. So, first, we have the BC and we are looking for the BC. Ano kaya ang measurement or length ng BC, no? So, given that, so, kung titignan natin, ito yung hinahanap natin. So, ano ang relationship ni B dito sa side na to? That is adjacent, tama. Ano ang relationship ni B dito sa 10.2? Opposite, tama. So, meron tayong opposite na given at adjacent. Sa SOHCAHTOA, alin doon yung may opposite at adjacent na ratio? Tama, tangent ang gagamitin natin. So, triangle BC is adjacent to the given angle. Angle B, you are given AC, which is opposite to angle B. Since the opposite and adjacent legs are involved, use the tangent ratio. So, we have 0 and A tangent. So, this is the example given a while ago. Write in trigonometric ratio. Ayan siya. So, we have tangent B equals opposite leg over adjacent leg equals AC, which is the opposite, over BC, which is the longest leg, the adjacent leg. Okay, next, let us, what do you call this, substitute the given values. So, we have, for B, we have 15 degrees. For AC, we have 10.2 feet. And for BC, we're looking for BC. So, that is their equation. After that, ayan, multiply both sides by BC and divide by tangent BC. Or simply, pwede namang i-exchange position yung dalawa. Okay? Si BC mapupunta doon, si tangent 15 degrees mapupunta sa denominator ni 10.2. Okay, so ganyan siya. And then, pwede mo nang i-compute yan using your calculator. Just simply 10.2 divided by tangent 15. So, simplify the expression using your calculator. 10.2, right? You will use 10.2 divided by tangent 15. Sige, let me check also in my calculator if we will get the same answer as 38.07 feet. So we have 10.2 divided by tangent 15, right? Okay, so we have 38.0669. Yun yung nakuha nyo, tama? So, round off to nearest hundreds, that's 38.07 feet. Therefore, the length of BC is 38.07 feet. Got it? Next, another. When a problem solving, you may be asked to find a missing side of a right triangle. Katulad kanina. You also may be asked to find the missing angle. So, given yung angle, nawawala yung side. If you look at your calculator, you should be able to find the inverse trigonometric function. This can be used to find the measure of the angle that has specific sine, cosine, and tangent. Usually, sa calculator, makikita mo yon sa taas ng sine, cosine, and tangent symbol sa calculator. So, paano ilalagay yon? I-click mo lang yung shift, and then pag kinlik mo yung shift, and then click mo yung sine, ang lalabas, shift, then sine, ang lalabas is sine raised to negative 1. Nakita nyo ba? Kung i-click ko yung shift, then i-click ko yung cosine, ang lalabas cosine raised to negative 1. Kung i-click ko yung shift at i-click ko yung tangent, ang lalabas tangent raised to negative 1. So, yun yung kanilang inverse for the trigonometric kapag hinahanap yung angle. So, para doon, tignan natin. If you know the sine, cosine, or tangent of an acute angle measure, you can use the inverse trigonometric function to find the measure of the angle. So the inverse trigonometric function, if sine A is equal to x, then sine raised to negative 1, x is equal to the measurement of angle A. So ito yung parang ano siya, hindi naman formula, pero parang guide siya para maintindihan natin yung inverse of trigonometric function. If cosine A is equal to x, then cosine raised to negative 1, x is equal to measurement of angle A. And if tangent A is equal to x, then tangent raised to negative 1, x is equal to the measurement of angle A. So, kung nakikita nyo, parang ginawa lang is pinag-combine yung x at yung trigonometric ratio, and then naglagay lang sila ng negative 1, which is actually the symbol for the inverse, if you are familiar with the inverse of a function. Anyway, let's calculate. No? On your calculator, please click the following. Use your calculator to find each angle measures to the nearest degree. So this one. Cosine, shift cosine, i-click nyo shift cosine, and then 0.87. So you will get this one, right? 29.54136605. And then round off to nearest 100, and round off to nearest degree, I'm sorry. So the nearest degree is 30 since 5 yun dito, no? Or pwede rin namang 29.54 degrees. Okay? How about this one? Sine negative 1, or inverse of sine times 0.85. So that's equal to 58.21 or 58 degrees. And for tangent, inverse of tangent times 0.71, that's 35.37 or 35 degrees. Clear? Okay, now let's do the following. Okay, using given measure to find the unknown angle measure or side lengths of a triangle is known as solving a triangle. To solve a right triangle, you need to know two side lengths or one side length of an acute angle measure. So sinasabi lang dito na kapag gusto mo ma-solve ang isang right triangle, kailangan mo malaman kahit dalawang sides lang ng length ng kanyang triangle, o di kaya ay isang side at isang angle. Dapat alam mo yung measurement. Do not round until the final step of your answer. Ito yung caution, huwag kang mag-round off hanggat hindi tapos, hanggat hindi pa tapos yung problem or hindi ka pa nakakapag sulat ng final answer. So use the values of the trigonometric ratios provided by your calculator. Example, solving the right triangles. Find the unknown measure, round lengths to the nearest hundreds, and angle measures to the nearest hundred. So, dalawang hinahanap natin dito. Ang hinahanap natin is yung measurement daw ng isang side. And sabi is hanapin daw yung angle measures to nearest degree, pero wala siyang angle na sinasabi. Let's say angle R ang hinahanap natin. Ano ang measurement nito? So we're looking for the measurement of this one and to the measurement of this one. Okay, so dalawa. So for the first one, we're looking for the length of ST. So we will use the method of Pythagorean theorem. I'm sorry. And then for this one, we have RT squared. Do you still remember the Pythagorean theorem? That's equal to C squared. Ayan. C squared equals A squared plus B squared. If you still remember the Pythagorean theorem. Okay? So we have RT as our hypotenuse as our C squared equals RS as our A squared plus ST as our B. So we're looking for this one, right? So given that RS is equal to 5 and line segment RT is equal to 5.7. So just substitute the given. Okay, using your calculator, so pwede na natin munang i-simplify muna or ilipat muna ito. Transpose this one. Okay, that's minus open parenthesis 5 squared. Yan. 'Di ba? So ibig sabihin hindi kasama ang minus may squared mamaya. Okay, pag nilipat mo siya, 'di ba? So we have 5.7. So open parenthesis 5.7 close parenthesis squared minus open parenthesis 5 squared. Then close parenthesis. Okay? So the answer is square root, the answer is 7.49. And then, to get, kasi may squared siya, di ba? So, merong squared example, may squared dyan. Ayan. So, para makuha mo siya, yung ST, square root both sides. So, makakancel yan. And then, square root of 7.49 is 2.6. 74. I hope you already know about this, no? Yung pagkuha ng sides using the Pythagorean theorem kasi ang Pythagorean theorem is matagal ng lesson ninyo sa mga subjects ninyo, okay, sa math, no? From grade 7 and grade 8 if I'm not mistaken, na kuha nyo na to. Well, anyway, let's proceed. So, yan yung ating side ST. 2.74 ang measurement nito. Now, we're looking for the angle R. If you're looking for the angle R, given this side and this side, ano ang relationship ni R kay 5? Tama, adjacent siya, hindi ba? Ito yung kanyang hypotenuse eh. Ano naman ang relationship ni R kay 5.7? 5.7 is the hypotenuse. So, adjacent and hypotenuse. From that, makakapag-create ka na ng idea na yung kailangan mong trigonometric ratio is ka, adjacent hypotenuse, which is COA. Ka as in cosine. Okay? So we have measurement of angle R equals, okay, cosine raised to negative 1, quantity 5 over 5.7. Ayun. Saan ko nakuha si 5? That's the adjacent. 5.7, that's the hypotenuse. Bakit cosine negative 1? Kung babalikan natin ang ating, yan, cosine, ito siya. Okay? Para makuha mo yung measurement ng angle A, ito yung kanyang ano. So, yung x dyan, siya yung ratio. Nakadepende siya. No? Yung x, siya yung adjacent over hypotenuse, opposite over adjacent, tsaka opposite over hypotenuse. Siya yung x. Okay? So, balikan natin yung ginawa natin. So, we have this one. So, using our calculator, pwedeng unahin mo to. 5 divided by 5.7, click equals, and then your answer will be multiply to shift cosine. Okay, isi-shift cosine mo siya. But next in. Anyway, pwede rin yung mauna yung shift cosine, and then i-type mo yung 5 divided by 5.7, then close parenthesis. Okay, ang makukuha mo is 28.69441353. Pero kung i-round off mo siya, ang makukuha mo is to the nearest degree, ang makukuha mo is 29 degrees. So since the acute angle of the right triangle are complementary, the measurement of t, so this one, complementary nga naman, no? Mean to say forming 90 degrees. If this one is 29 degrees, ano ang measurement ni t? That's 61 degrees. Paano ko nalaman na complementary siya? Diba ang total ng triangle ay 180. This one is already 90 degrees. So, ma-minus mo na siya. So, magiging 90 degrees na lang ang matitira. So, kaya, magma-minus na lang tayo ng 90 sa nakuha nating degree para makuha natin yung angle T. Yung isa pang angle na nawawala. So, nakumpleto na natin yung mga sides. So, dito sa side, meron tayong 2.74. Tapos sa angle T, 61 degrees. And sa angle R, 29 degrees. Hindi missing to kasi given na siya. That's 90 degrees kapag naka-box siya, di ba? Okay, another. Example, find the unknown measure, round length to the nearest hundredths, and angle measure to the nearest degree. Okay, so dito pa lang, pwede na tayong maghanap ng isang part. So let's say this is our, pwede actually marami akong ways para makuha yan. Okay, kung ito yung kukunin ko muna, ang relationship ni angle F kay 14 ay opposite. Tama? Opposite. Anong relationship ni angle F dito sa side na to? Adjacent. So, that is tangent. Or, pwede rin naman na opposite siya, pero kukunin ko yung hypotenuse muna. And that is opposite hypotenuse. That is SOH. So, we will use sine of equals opposite over hypotenuse. So, alin sa dalawa ang gagamitin natin? So, let's see. Since the acute angles of the measure angle, okay, by the way, pwede na rin natin palang makuha yung triangle ito. Kasi since given naman ito, 58 degrees, given naman yun, so complementary naman sila. That's 90 degrees minus 58 degrees, that's equal to 32. So this portion is 32 degrees. Okay? And then for the 32 degrees, okay, yung ginamit niya is tangent. So we have, para makuha yung EF. So opposite over adjacent. The adjacent is 14. So tawag dito, change position ko lang. Ay, hindi pala. Sorry. Ang gagawin ko is, i-cross multiply ko siya dito. So, we have 14 tangent 32 degrees is equal to EF. Kasi matitira na lang si EF. Ita-type ko to sa calculator, itong direction na to. Ang makukuha ko is 8.75. So, EF is 8.75. Yung kanyang size, no? 8.75 units. Okay? How about the other side? This one. So, for that one, since kumpleto na tayo, pwede rin natin siyang gamitan ng Pythagorean theorem na the longest side is df squared over is equal to ed squared plus ef. Dito sa ed tsaka ef, kahit alin sa dalawa mauna, pero df lagi siya nauna kasi siya yung hypotenuse. Basta yung lagi nauna is hypotenuse. So, we're looking for the hypotenuse given yung ed tsaka ef. So, 8.75 squared at saka 14 squared. Okay? Then, just get their squared. Okay, so using your calculator, kunin mo yung 14 squared plus 8.75 squared. Ano yung nakuha niya? Ang nakuha niyo is 272. Okay, ang nakuha niyo is equal to 2.72, right? Ay, 272, I'm sorry, 272.5625. Tama ba ako? 5625. And then, yung nakuha nyong yon, okay, ang gagawin natin, i-square root natin both sides. So, kasi we're done here na. Kasi equal siya doon. So, square root both sides, cancel na yon. So, df na lang matitira. And what is the square root of your answer? And that is 16.51. Nearest hundredth ang kukunin natin. Ito naman, nearest degree, kaya sakto yung kinukuha nating degree. Okay? So that's all about the 6 trigonometric ratios: sine, cosine, tangent, secant, cosecant, and cotangent with sample problems. So with that, thank you very much for your listening.